thanks for joining us today on Echoes. And I was sitting there thinking in preparing for this that you and I walked into Florida State at the same time, both as student athletes. And I came into football, which recruited itself. It was on top of the world, Coach Bowden. It was a done deal as soon as you got offered. Florida State women's basketball was not at that point when you came in. And you're from Ohio in Big Ten country where they take basketball pretty seriously. So what made you come to Florida State and leave Big Ten country at a program that is not, at the time, was not where it is now?
Yeah. I know, it sounds crazy, and thinking back on it, and also from the perspective of now being a college coach, I was the worst recruit in the history of recruiting. I would have hated recruiting myself. I was all over the place. But honestly, being all over the place and being a 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid that didn't really know what she wanted, didn't have anybody really guiding me that knew the process, it allowed me to open myself up to the whole country in terms of options. And one of those people that randomly, like you're saying, I'm from Ohio, knew nothing about Florida State really other than Charlie Ward had won a Heisman. I mean, I knew his name. It allowed Florida State to come into the mix. And they did a home visit with me. And it wasn't even Coach Sue. She hadn't been hired yet. It was another head coach. And there was something about Florida State, and my parents said it like, wow, I don't know what it is. There's just something about it. And so I felt the same way. So I ended up coming on an official visit here. It was one of my visits. And I had some other really good visits as well. And I wasn't just completely sold out to it because, again, I was I want to say stupid, 16, 17-year-old kid. But at the end of the day, and I still believe this is true now being here after all these years, they made me feel at the end of the day when I was all over the place, when it came down to decision time, they had everybody calling. Football players, other coaches, the coaching staff would not let up in terms of calling my parents, calling me to tell me how much they wanted me as a person, as a player, how important women's basketball, even though it wasn't a good program, I felt from all the rest of, all these other people that were calling on their behalf, that I was wanted. And that, as a kid that had no idea where I was going or what I wanted to do, was what the deciding factor for me at the end of the day, that, okay, I'm wanted there as a person and as a player. There's a vision there. We can grow this thing, and the people really are what sold it. And the people are still what sells it to me today. It hasn't changed. So yeah, it was random. It was literally one of the top 3 decisions I've ever made in my life.
Sure.
And I do believe that God was in the decision. I mean, I really do believe He was guiding me this whole time. I didn't know it. But it came through to me in the way of that, the family atmosphere, we're in this together and we have a vision of greatness that we want you to be a part of.
So you make the decision to come to Florida State, pretty much sight unseen from what you're saying. You obviously had a great basketball career. What do you remember from your time on campus? What was your student experience like at Florida State?
It was so awesome. That's what I say about Florida State, again, to this day, just that you get the full college experience here. You get an excellent athletic experience. You get an excellent education. Florida State is a great academic school, and you get an excellent social aspect of it. Like, there's everything available here as a student, groups to be a part of. We were in FCA together, and just all kinds of things going on. And so as a student, I really embraced that side of it.
You helped establish FSU women's basketball in terms of the trajectory to get it to where we are now. That you parlayed that into the WNBA and Team USA. What doors did Florida State open for you to get you to where you are now?
Every door. I mean, really, it's a nationally recognized brand and university, and just then that is so important when you're looking to, especially on the women's side, make it, as a WNBA professional player. We played in the ACC, which is a premier conference. I mean, that got me on that stage and also got me ready by, preparing against the best competition. Coach Sue did a fantastic job of giving me the opportunity to play and to help, bring our team to my senior year, finally getting the NCAA tournament. So those things, just ACC and Florida State being a national brand, mean a lot when it comes to that, recognition professionally and with Team USA.
Awesome. You bring Coach Sue up, and last year she takes the unprecedented step of stepping away as a Division I head coach to take care of family, which of course is the priority, but most people wouldn't do what she did. And that turns you into interim head coach, which in itself is its own beast. And then you get COVID with it. What was the interim head coach at Florida State in a premier program during COVID? Nobody else on earth got to do what you did last year.
Right.
What was your year like?
It was actually an awesome year. It really was. It was a very unique opportunity. I recognized that it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in terms of being able to step in to a fully, capable and invested staff, a team that was completely on board, a team of great kids and great players. That doesn't happen when you first take a job usually. So I was blessed in that sense where I just had to kind of pick up where Coach Sue had left off, try not to mess it up. We have the same philosophy. I know the culture of the program. All of that had been established. So it really was an awesome opportunity to personally learn, see what it's like to be in those shoes. And also just to hold the line for Coach Sue while she was gone and hopefully make her proud in the process.
We made all of us proud.
Okay.
How big is that gap from being the number one assistant to, oh no, the timeouts are on me, the discipline is on me, the academics is on me, the travel schedule's on me. I think so many people don't get the concept of coaching is so much more than what's on the court in the game. How big is that gap from on-court number one assistant to running the program?
Yeah, it's a huge gap. I mean, everything stops at you, every decision. And that's what they say, you go from making 10 decisions a day as an assistant to over 100 a day or whatever it is as a head coach. So yes, it's a big gap. I enjoyed that gap. But again, it wasn't a realistic thing where, it wasn't my job, my program completely in that sense. But the most fun part was that you don't get as an assistant is when you're coaching a game. It's like you're a player again when you're the head coach. Like you're up, you're in the mix. Like you said, like you gotta make the decisions, you gotta make the calls, and that was really, really fun. I didn't expect that difference. But yeah, being able to stand up and coach was kind of like, wow, I feel like I'm out there playing again almost. I'm sweating like I'm playing almost, so it's fun.
How are you a better number one assistant after a year of being an interim head coach?
I hope I'm a lot better number one assistant. I tell people all the time, I texted Sue probably, a week or two into being the interim and just said, I'm so sorry. I was not the assistant that I could have been. I see so many things differently now, and that is my goal now, is to support her as best I can and be a better assistant, having been in her shoes and know, what do you really need from an assistant? How does it feel to be on her side of things?
Sure. Switching gears, you talked earlier about Florida State being a special place, and you look up and you've got Amy Bond at golf, and you've got Jennifer Hyde at tennis, and you've got Vanessa, who was with us, who's now senior women's administrator, and there's you, and there's me at baseball.
Yeah.
We have our own people in our own programs, Garnet and Gold, lifelong Knowles, who bring a little extra to the table than someone who may not have grown up a Knoll. What's it like to coach at a place where you invested your blood, sweat, and tears?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you need to put yourself in that list, okay, Keith? It's awesome, and it's just a great feeling to have grown up in this place, love this place, and now still be able to be a part of it. It's a privilege to me, and I wouldn't, who knows what the future brings, but I love and cherish every single day that I have here, because there is nothing like it. It truly is family, and just to be able to represent and be a part of it still is definitely a dream come true.
Is it an advantage in your back pocket when you go into an in-home visit to recruit to say I played here?
I think so. To be able to look at somebody and say I've been in your shoes, I've played for this head coach. I believe it's an advantage, and that's something. It's a sisterhood. I love it. I'm not only am I coaching these players, but we're sisters. We're all Seminoles, and so I love having that connection with them.
You and I are both now gone from being student athletes to being parents with daughters who are running on the same fields and courts that we played on, and we of course dream of them being in the garnet and gold. You're a leader throughout the industry in terms of being an intentional parent throughout the demands of coaching. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people are leading in the way you do. Talk a little bit about what you do to bring other women in your profession together to say, I'm going to be a mom and a great coach.
Yeah, it's something that when I found out that I was going to have a child, I said, whoa, wait a second, this is going to be different. But by no means did I ever think I want to give up what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I love this job. And so being a parent is the best job ever. It's the most amazing thing. But a lot of people, and especially women, feel that pull to, choose career or family. And that's why I created and founded Moms in Coaching, mm-hmm. which is really started as a support group, for moms that are doing this. There's so chat. Many, group chat. We get together at the Final Four because there's so many of us doing it. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. When you don't have kids, you're so clueless about a lot of things in terms of what parenting and family and all that stuff goes on, and then your eyes are open in that sense. So getting those women together, but also really being an advocate to keep women in coaching. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest thing is I love having men and women coaching in women's basketball. We need women to stay in coaching and be those role models and be that representation for our young women that aspire to be great basketball players, be great in their career, and also have a family and know that you can do it. I
dare say that's as impactful as anything you're doing with coaching. So,
I hope so.
Good
Thanks.
on you for that.
Thanks.
Rapid fire to finish.
Yeah.
Short answer, one word, as short as you can be. Favorite road venue to play at?
Duke.
Okay. Best prepared opponent year in and year out in the ACC?
Oh, God. Everyone. The coaching is top notch.
Okay. Your favorite place on campus at Florida State?
Ooh, Westcott. Nothing like
there you go.
Westcott Fountain.
Favorite non-basketball FSU team to support?
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to put you in a spot.
Come on. I missed that one on the list. Golly.
You can't
Football.
say okay. There you go. All right, easier one. Garnet or gold?
Garnet.
Garnet. Proper answer. Beat Florida or beat Miami?
Beat the Gators.
Also a proper answer. Favorite FSU tradition?
Oh, the chop.
Okay. And last one, and this is probably the most difficult question. Florida State University in a single word.
Family.
Awesome. Brooke, thanks for being a part of Echoes today and for being an alumnus and making us all proud, and we hope to keep you around a long time.
Thank you, Keith. Great to be here.
All right.